much personal information do you share with people at work, and is it too much? Research has shown, obviously, that we spend more time with the people at work than we do with our family at home. And people are more comfortable going to a workplace where they have formed friendships. But when is it too much? When you're talking about salaries, how much do I make? How much do you make? When you're talking about the personal lives of the people that you work with?
No, that's not
No,
appropriate.
I don't think people talk about salaries.
They do.
They do?
They do. Actually,
Then your friend's going to be pissed off at you because you made more than she did.
That's
certainly
right.
creates some animosity.
That ends the relationship.
It is interesting, though, because it's a younger demographic that will talk about that. There's nothing's off limits. They'll talk about
that's
salaries.
across
They'll
the
talk
board.
about relationships.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, the younger generation, I feel old when I say that, but those younger whippersnappers are, you know, they're sharing far more than, oh, well, Lord, my mother for sure, and then me.
I think it's because as you get older, you probably have learned those lessons. You've learned the lesson just to shut up sometimes, you know.
Just to shut up.
We have some folks on Facebook who have something to say about this too. Stuart, what are they saying?
Actually, on Twitter, Bill Young says his agent recommends that he not spend time with colleagues outside of work. So I asked him if he still does, though, as many of us, like you said, spend more time with our coworkers than our spouses. And he said he does, but you learn quickly who you should and should not trust, which I thought was a very good point. And back over on Facebook, Leslie Chapman says that she doesn't share much at work at all with her coworkers. In fact, she says her privacy is the topic of discussion at the water cooler rather than her personal life, and she likes it that way.
But then don't you come across as being a little standoffish, though? And if these are the people you're working with on a day-to-day basis, yeah, and so I think it's a fine line you have to walk there.
There is a
Yeah,
fine
but do
line.
you really socialize?
I always did in my job.
I never did.
In all your jobs,
In all
no?
my jobs, I never socialized. Even at Channel 8, I never. I always.
Where did you make your friends?
I don't know. They just I don't have that many.
Well,
Yes,
I want
with the
my
friends you have are
coworkers
gorgeous.
come drink with me.
I just
Let's go.
never ran around with anybody
At work.
at work.
It's interesting. Scott and I have had this conversation about, you know, we have these fantasies about like moving off to moving to Spain and, you know, but when you don't have a job or a place to go to work, or you don't have children where you're interacting with other moms or dads, I think it's difficult to really form a social life, because how do you meet people?
And when I was doing television occupied my entire day into 1 o'clock in the morning. Who had time to socialize?
Well, your coworkers were your family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.